Great. Oh, I just discovered a new feature here on this. Cool. Hi, guys. It's Lisa Maxwell, and I'm here to do a deeper dive on the reading that we did last night. I'm outside, so we are really close to the road. So if we get that extra road noise, heads up. Again, that's what's up. Um, so we have the Chariot as our last card. We had our Seven of Pentacles in the middle, and then we have the Ten of Pentacles at the beginning. Actually, these are some cards that I pulled my own this morning. We also had later in the live recording on Facebook, we had the Archangel Michael creativity card come up. Exercise is key, and a blessing for healing. So a deeper dive. I have had like a lot of messages. I actually did my own card pull this morning, and the Page of Wands was what came up, which is like lots of messages, lots of purpose, lots of spirit, lots of fire. So this is really wonderful gratitude. So I talked about this being like a card of retirement, a card of you've come to like this pinnacle of where of the culmination of like a lot of hard work. This is again stuff on the material plane, so this is stuff that's showing up for you in the now, like, so all the hard work that we've done, maybe for a number of years or maybe very recently, I don't know what that means for you, but is coming up in a way that you're in this place of abundance. Now what happens when we get to like a pinnacle is often we forget that we didn't do that all on our own, right? We have to look back at like our spirit, what we anchored on in order to get to that place. We started out as a beginner, and now we've come to a particular place, and it's really easy when we get to that pinnacle type of place in our growth process. We kind of forget that what it took to get there, and we can get a little cocky, and the important thing is to actually take this kind of energy and really be in a place of appreciation, and instead of looking down from that, to using the higher perspective for, okay, I've done all of this stuff, this is the stuff I'm going to take forward with me, and I'm going to, apply it in different ways in order to grow more, whatever that might mean for you. And, it's also, tempting to kind of be in that pinnacle place and get arrogant and forget, that we were once beginners. So we look down at the things around us that maybe are not, maybe in alignment with where we are currently, and I kind of like having an attitude of bitterness, having an attitude of a disparaging look at that, and they like, oh well, I've done all this stuff. This isn't a spiritual sprint, and everybody's working at their own pace. And we need to recognize and appreciate the process that we've gone through. And if we can be in that appreciation place of taking the time to plant those seeds and what it took for us to do that, and not forget that, and being grounded, being present to our own experience, and understand that other people are also going through that at the pace that they need to go through. It's very important, again, that to remember and appreciate where other people are on their journey, and to be in that place where this empowers us and it empowers them. And so when we come to this Chariot, so the imagination of a chariot is someone like blasting by everything. That's not the attitude that we want to take here. We actually want to, these are cats, they're not horses. In pretty much every depiction of the tarot, which I'm familiar with, I don't want to go all the way to be an absolute statement. These are cats. Cats are not racing around, or they will for a while, but then they're like, yeah, I know, I'm chilling now. Most of the time they're chilling. And like these other cats are like chilling. They're not trying to bounce around and be all crazy. These certainly aren't. So go at take your own growth, like be respectful of your own growth process. This is a very healing approach to things. Be respectful of the process. Be respectful of all the conditioning that it's taken you. So this is that Archangel Raphael card. Be respectful of, and also look at like, where other people are on their progress, and and be encouraging, and not in a way that, let's go back to that dragonfly card, with that kind of smugness, that spiritual self-righteousness, or any kind of self-righteous, mentality, is not helpful. It's, that's not actually reflective of our own growth, right? That's not reflective of, this kind of, these kinds of very well dressed, well cared for. Like we want to, and so here's the other thing. We're moving towards, and so we're taking all of what we've learned in that higher wisdom kind of stuff, and we want to start cultivating things that are, so if you are looking around you, you're like, I don't have any of this like richness in my life. Well, is that really true? Look around at what is working. It's important to look at what's working and doing more of that, and in a way that doesn't, again, like have this like really very blunt cutting away of the things that aren't working. So, this is the Seven of Pentacles is saying, I've planted these seeds. I need to trust that they're going to grow in their own fashion and in their own time. I don't need to be in control of that. I just need to pick this one thing, and I'm going to go off over here and do it. And I'm going to go at the pace that's correct for me and appreciate the pace that other people are also. This is staying in your own lane. This is also against doing your own work, not the work of other people. And so, when we're in that place of abundance for ourselves and that place of appreciation from our own progress, we can do things that are very gracious, like, and it can be small things. These are things that we're cultivating on the small level. Like she's taking one thing, she's taking one step at a time, taking that one small step. Like it could be, okay, I'm gonna up my exercise game. Like I'm gonna get a little creative here with my situation, and I'm gonna make one step. I am going to and trust that one step works, and it's that one step. Take one giant leap for one step for mankind. What is it? I'm taking one step for me, but it's a giant leap for mankind. Very much that, Neil Armstrong on the moon kind of stuff. It could be, as I go for my morning walk and I'm doing well with my morning walk, I've taken the time all summer to kind of cultivate that. I see this person wants to make a turn as I'm, crossing a crosswalk. Well, maybe I'm going to jog across that crosswalk today, not just kind of walk at my usual pace. And that respects the other person's need to kind of travel in their fashion, in their car or whatever, and it respects that they're taking the time to make way for us. So in these ways, then that person, we don't know, they could take that and be like, oh, that was so nice. That person kind of sped up for me. And at the next corner where they're making a turn and maybe somebody doesn't do that, they're a little more gracious and can be like, okay, whatever, not everybody is at the same place, whatever, but we pay it forward in these really small ways. Or, as you're walking, instead of, when you get to a kind of congested area, we're reading the situation, and instead of maintaining that quick pace and running up on the heels of the individual in front of you, maybe you're just taking time, slowing down, kind of like, oh, well, now I can appreciate, what's happening around me. And, oh, this girl in front of me, this person I was just about to run up on, is wearing a super cute dress. I wouldn't have noticed that if I blasted by her. It was, that's not masterful, not mastering a situation, right? So instead, I'm going to slow down. I'm going to appreciate that very cute dress and the fact that, oh, look, she took a lot of time to like make herself like ultra cute right now. And and in that way, we're putting a more healing energy out there on a very broad scale. Like this is big picture stuff that we can do in small ways. These are, again, those kind of, these are day in, day out energies. This is minor arcana. And this is taking it to that major arcana where we're now steering and we're driving around and we're showing up in the world. We're steering in our own lane, but we're also appreciating the beauty of what's going on. We're not on a super highway. We're actually taking our time, or even if you're on the highway, instead of going 85 miles an hour, you maybe want to drive 60 today, or 55 or whatever. But instead of just blasting through life, we're taking the time to cultivate and be in that sense of appreciation. To go towards the things, to again, cultivate the things that really, so the Pentacles are health. I recorded a separate video for the Instagrammers because the one I recorded for Facebook when I pulled the cards was a little too long for the Instagram format. So I also remembered that, Pentacles are also the suit of health. This again, grounded. This is again is happening in the here and now, but this is the suit of health and well-being. So what are we doing that does improve our health? Like this is stuff that, we're making the kinds of moves in our lives that are not just in, imagination or in the less tangible emotional or mental realms. But we are reaching that more rarefied area by actually feeling like, where do I feel good in my life? What do I do in my life that does make me feel good and healthy and feels like healthy choices in my interactions, in my work. And then identifying, oh, well, other things don't make me feel so good. Why? Let me consider that. And instead of making it again be a fearful thing, like if it brings up fear, well, or anxiety, remembering I can be in my own pace here. Let me take in what I need to take in. Let me take my time here with what I'm feeling. How does it make me feel physically? Again, just kind of putting ourselves into these situations that create, once more, okay, I've created this sense of ease in my life. These are the things that are working. What can I do more to plant things into those areas that are working, rather than continue to kind of like maybe just overdo areas that are, like my godfather likes to say, called burnt over country. I do need to burn that ground for a while. That's a way of actually reclaiming a an overgrown part of one of any kind of area that in about 7 years or so will yield, again, 7 of Pentacles, become an area where the ground is once more a place where you can plant, and there will be a more fruitful uh, harvest at some point. But and so and we say 7 years, so don't get freaked out about that. Like, sometimes we'll have to step away from things, and it may be 7 years, it may be 7 months, but whatever. It's being able to step away from something that just really isn't yielding the kind of returns that you want, the reciprocity, um, and just cultivating more of the things that are working super well, and do promote and encourage your own spiritual growth, where you're challenged a little more, but you're also working in a way that also empowers others, and just brings just more enhancement to things. So, and again, the pentacles are also circles, so the world, this worlds, we don't know, the actions that we do on the small scale affect worlds, and we can either get really super narrow focused, or we can open up our vision a little bit and just at least have that understanding that that's real and true. So yeah, so that's the deeper dive on this reading, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know if you have any comments. If you have any questions, share this with anybody who needs to hear this information, who's coming to mind. Don't hesitate to share or send them my direction. I'm also happy to do personal readings. Just let me know if that's something you desire. All right. Thank you so much.